Like writing components in most Office suites, LibreOffice Writer possesses some features for creating images within documents. Unlike most Office suites, however, LibreOffice includes a separate component called LibreOffice Draw that possesses many more features for creating images. Therefore, in most cases, I recommend creating any image in Draw before inserting it into your Writer document. In this video, I will demonstrate several ways to insert images designed in LibreOffice Draw into a Writer document. I have a Writer document open with 5 paragraphs of text. The paragraph style has 0.10 inches of spacing between each paragraph. Now I'll go to Draw, where I've created 3 objects which I have aligned and distributed. I'll select the 3 objects. There is no need to group them. I'll copy these objects. I'll go back to the Writer document. I'll place the cursor at the end of the first paragraph. I'll paste the objects I copied from Draw into the document. Notice that the anchor is now at the beginning of the paragraph. I'll click my mouse elsewhere in the document. Now I'll click on just the left rectangle. Notice that all 3 objects are selected. I'll right-click on the selection. Notice that I'm given the options on Group and Enter Group. When I copied the 3 objects in Draw and pasted them into Writer, the 3 objects were automatically grouped. Rather than selecting either on Group or Enter Group, I'll select Position and Size from the menu. I'll go to the Position and Size tab in the dialog that opens. The settings here refer to the whole group. I'll make sure Keep Ratio is checked. I'll set the width to 4.5 inches. I'll set the anchor to character. In the position area, I'll set horizontal to center to entire paragraph area. I'll set vertical from bottom and set the distance to a negative 0.10 inches. The negative measurement will place the image beneath the anchor. I have produced other videos to explain the various settings in this dialog. You can find links to my other videos and courses by clicking on the More in the gray area beneath this video. I'll click OK. I'll right-click on the selection again and go to Wrap, Edit. I'll select Wrap Off and set the bottom spacing to 0.10 inch. I explain the various wrap settings in other videos. I'll click OK. The selection and text no longer overlap. Finally, I'll drag the anchor to the end of the first paragraph. I'll click elsewhere in the document so you can better see the final effect. Notice that the text in both rectangles has been changed from 1 line to 2 lines. I could enter the group and play with the individual objects to change the looks of this illustration. Instead, I'll show you a couple of other methods to insert my Draw objects into the Writer document. I'll go back to the Draw document. I'll make certain all 3 objects are selected. I'll go to File, Export. In the dialog that opens, I'll navigate to the folder where I want to save my file. I'll make sure Selection is checked. For Save as Type, I'll select SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics, SVG. I'll name this file LOD_LOW. I'll click Save. I want to show you another type you might want to use. I'll make sure all 3 objects are selected. I'll go to File, Export. In the dialog that opens, I'll navigate to the folder where I want to save my file. I'll make sure selection is checked. This time, for Save As Type, I'll select SVGZ, Compressed Scalable Vector Graphics, SVGZ. I'll name this file LOD_LOW. I'll click Save. Now I'll go back to my Writer document. I'll place the cursor at the end of the second paragraph. I'll click on the Insert Image icon in the standard toolbar. I'll go to the folder where I saved the two image files. Notice the two image files I just saved. The SVG file displays the thumbnail of the image. The SVGZ file shows a generic icon. At the time of this video, the Windows operating system does not have the capability of displaying the thumbnail of a compressed SVG image file. As I move my mouse pointer over the two files, notice that the file size of the compressed SVG image is much smaller than the regular SVG image. Since both file sizes are very small, the file size does not make much difference in this case. In other videos, I discuss why image file size might make a difference both when working on a file and when trying to share it with others. For now, I'll select the SVG file and click Open. The anchor point is where the cursor was, but the image is shown above it. I'll right-click on the image. Notice that Ungroup and Enter Group are not listed in the menu. When I exported the images, the various images became a single image rather than a group of images. I'll select Properties. In the dialog that opens, I'll go to the Wrap tab. I'll select Wrap Off. I'll set the bottom spacing to 0.10 inches. I'll go to the Position and Size tab. I'll make sure Keep Ratio is selected. I'll set the width to 4.5 inches. I'll make sure Anchor is set to Character. In the Position area, I'll set Horizontal to Center to Entire Paragraph area. I'll set Vertical from bottom and set the distance to negative 0.10 inches. I'll click OK. I'll click elsewhere in the document so the positioned image is easier to see. By exporting my image first, I was able to make all my settings in one dialog. Notice that the text in both rectangles is still on one line. I'll place the cursor at the end of the third paragraph of the Writer document. I'll click on the Insert Image icon in the standard toolbar. I'll go to the folder where I saved the two image files. This time I'll select the SVGZ image. I'll click Open. The anchor is at the end of the paragraph, but the image is above this. I'll right-click on the image that was inserted and select Properties. In the dialog that opens, I'll go to the Wrap tab. I'll select Wrap Off. I'll set the bottom spacing to 0.10 inches. I'll go to the Position and Size tab. I'll make sure Keep Ratio is selected. I'll set the width to 4.5 inches. I'll make sure Anchor is set to Character. In the Position area, I'll set Horizontal to Center to Entire Paragraph area. I'll set Vertical to From Bottom and set the distance to negative 0.10 inches. I'll click OK. I'll click elsewhere in the document. The SVGZ image looks the same as the SVG image. There's yet another method for inserting saved images into a Writer document. That is to use the gallery in the sidebar. I discussed the use of the gallery in other videos, so I won't discuss it here. LibreOffice Draw possesses many more features for creating images than does Writer. Once you create an image in Draw, you have various methods of inserting the image into your Writer document. You should experiment with various methods and select the one you are most comfortable using.